Welcome to the Solomon Williams Room. I'm your host, Brian Williams, aka the Professor. And today's topic is about mm, Parenthood's Guide to Better Children. That's right, Parenthood's Guide to Better Children. Because these kids out here so bad, it don't even make sense, right? And I know that's what you're saying and everything. So before we even start, we have to bring the father into the situation, which is the big guy, my big guy, and everything. So I want you to check this out real fast. For Father, name your Son, Jesus Christ, we ask you to touch this podcast in today and that you allow us to touch in this conversation PowerPoints that need to be exposed as well as need to be expressed as well as to be embraced because we are dysfunctional in so many ways, Lord, and we're asking that you allow us to become conscious of our dysfunctional ways, that we may step forward in a new direction of change and a positive vibe. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, name we pray to you, Lord, and we thank you, Father, for being here. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, we pray, Lord. Amen. Bow. Let's get into it. Let's get right into it. Like I said, it's don't getting tough. It's don't getting tough. Okay, like I said, Parenthood's Guide to Better Children. So let's start the conversation. We did our thing and everything. So we've been putting the big guy into the situation. So now, parents, um, let's jump into the conversation, and hopefully, we can create a viable, positive movement in bettering our children, our child or children. It said these PowerPoints that we're going to get to are so important because sometimes you might hear what the PowerPoint is, but just listen to the message of the PowerPoint of what's going on and everything. With that being said, the first PowerPoint is be mindful. Your child or children are watching you both. Be mindful. 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 I have to showcase this thing right here because this is my partner sent this in and everything. It's called Be Cold Blue and everything. But furthermore and everything. All right, okay. Be mindful your child or children are watching you both. And the reason why this is a PowerPoint in the topic is because sometimes men and women don't realize that um, your relationship, your marriage can affect the way that you conduct parenthood. And sometimes the spill of relationships and marriages spills right over into parenthood. But parenthood, we have to understand that parenthood is its own entity. It ain't got nothing to do with your relationship nor your marriage. So with that being said, being mindful of what your children are watching, what your children are hearing, because you are the first. Parents, you hear me? Let me say it again. You are the first line of civilization that a child even knows what's going on. So here it is. Sometimes a mother and father gets into it because of the relationship problems and the marriage problems. And the child that lives in parenthood, the land of parenthood, is just watching. And as this child is watching, you have to ask yourself, what is you showing your child? Are you showing your child that you do not get it when it comes to that you are turning over negative, negative vibes to your children, negative characteristic traits that you are passing over to your kids? For instance, say for instance, mother fathers and they're arguing, child's 3 years old, and what you think that child hears? That child hears everything. So then you get mad because here's another PowerPoint. Mimicking stage. That's right. Children will mimic what they hear and what they see. It's like an overflow. Kids can't even help it. They'll come right out and be like, my mama and my daddy, and they were just arguing and fussing and everything. And then somebody gonna say, now I know it's about being your business because you gave your child a bullet that need not necessarily to give it to him, but you gave it to him unconsciously. So now that you conscious, you gave your child this bullet. So if you like to say the B word, the BICTH word, then when you say that word right there, then you hear your child say that, then don't laugh. Just be mindful that your child is mimicking what they see, what you're doing and everything. So with that being said and everything, we're in the mimicking stage. You feel what I'm saying? A mimicking stage. What is the mimicking stage? Mimicking stage is where a child or children reenact what they hear and see. Now you know I ain't telling no lie about that situation right there. Children react it because what characteristics are with genes is in them. So when they hear a certain vibe and everything, that characteristic sound comes out. So they're gonna repeat what they hear because it's in their genes. So when you hear your child cuss, don't beat your child, beat yourself because your child didn't know how to cuss until you start cussing. And when you cuss around your child, you're gonna have the nerve to tell your child, "Don't do what I do." They gonna do what you do because they have your characteristic genes. And with that being said, come on now, parents, we got to get into this thing for real, and stop letting our children carry the weight of our struggles because no one did it for us. If that's the case, then some of us shouldn't even have kids. And that's plain and simple. And I hate to say it like that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people ain't gonna even feel that part of that right there. They were like, what he talking about? Like he know what he know. Yes, I know what I know because I've seen it so much and everything. With that, what it said is, we're gonna step into the next PowerPoint. This PowerPoint 3 and everything. It says what you can or can't do. My opinion, the act of parenthood overtakes a relationship or marriage. It says, so let's make things a little more clear. Most men and women who share parenthood duties haven't constantly understood that parenthood duties are the top concern. No, y'all ain't gonna like this one right here. So yes, you can end a relationship. Yes, you can also end a marriage. But neither parent can end the duties of parenthood because he or she decides to end to end a relationship or marriage. I mean, this is I mean, come on, it's common sense. Like parenthood is not like a marriage. Parenthood is not like a relationship. You can lose, you can fail in a relationship, and you can lose and you can fail inside of a marriage. But parenthood is something totally different. So let me say this to you. It says, people listen. It says parenthood has its own conscious foundation that's supposed to be protected beyond your personal feelings. Did y'all hear me, parents? Personal feelings. Say, I can't talk to the boyfriend and girlfriends. I can't talk to the husband and wives because you can lose a husband, you can lose a wife, you can lose a girlfriend, you can lose a boyfriend. But the only way you can lose your authority or your privilege um, in parenthood is someone dies. I hate to say it that way, but it is the truth. And a lot of times, that's it's not the case. And a lot of times it is when we fail in our relationships and marriages, we find ourselves suppressing and suffocating parenthood for the benefit, like a chess game. You know, what I'm saying, for strategy and power and everything. It's like a tennis match. It's the greatest tennis match you're probably ever going to see, from a father to a mother, and the dysfunctional behaviors that are happening in parenthood. For instance, a lot of a lot of a lot of mothers, single parent mothers, are fussing and arguing, fighting with their baby fathers. Um, but you have to look at the foundation of how y'all came about. See, the relationship may fail. As I said again, let me say it one more time. The relationship may fail, the marriage may fail, but parenthood has to stand by itself. I'm not playing. This is not a joke. This is serious. You think about it. Come on, give me a couple of minutes and think about what I'm saying to you. You can lose a boyfriend or girlfriend, you can lose a husband or a wife, but parenthood, the only way you can lose a partner in parenthood is one y'all got to die. I guess that just shot right over some of y'all head, but here it is. I'm gonna say it one more time. You cannot lose your rights to parenthood unless you choose to lose your right to parenthood. So fathers that are not doing what they're supposed to do, you getting off the hook. You shouldn't be getting off the hook. And here it is. Mothers, stop letting the fathers off the hook. The reason why you letting them off the hook because you mad, because they messing with somebody else that ain't got nothing to do with parenthood. If your baby daddy is seeing someone else and you seeing someone else, neither one of y'all relationship outside of parenthood has nothing to do with the parenthood with the child or children that you have brought into this world. So come on now, we got it. Come on now, we got to think. And these black brothers out here that's saying stuff like, um, when the baby mother call you, you're saying stuff like, let me see a good one now, a good one. Let me get a good one. Here it is, here it is. Baby mother call you, and the first thing happen is what? Your baby need milk and your baby need pampers, right? So what do? So the first thing you say is, if you gonna give me some sex, I'll buy the baby pampers and milk. She said, no, this ain't about me. It's about you taking care of your child, right? She keeping it 100 with you, but you want to cross the line. So you want something that you want because in the black man's mind, some of us think that we always have the rights to have sex with our baby mothers, and that's not true. You only have the rights to have sex with your baby mother is when y'all are in a relationship or a marriage. Outside of that, parenthood has nothing to do with sex, especially you already had a child. I mean, that's common sense. Once y'all break up in a relationship, it's not supposed to be that you're still messing with your baby mother. I mean, I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times we find out that, in some women minds, it's still the same thing. Some women say, "That's my baby father. I'm always gonna do that." And the reason why you doing that is because you want to see if he really loved this woman that he has started dating now. So you're gonna do crazy stuff, and you start doing stuff that's keeping the child away. You hurting the child. Then you find out the child is being so disrespectful and everything. You wonder why a child being disrespectful. Probably being disrespectful because you have suffocated and destroyed the avenue of communication because your personal feelings in a relationship or a marriage that didn't go right. But the truth is, parenthood has nothing to do with that because true parenthood understands that the child comes first. See, the truth is, when we bring forth a child, that means that what we think supposed to happen. Some of us say, well, we're gonna build a family and everything, and this and the third. That's fine and dandy, and you can do that, and you're supposed to do that by securing the family and everything. That's what you're supposed to do. But it don't always go that way, do it? Nope. It don't always go that way, and the reason why it don't always go that way because people do not understand that because you are not successful in a relationship or in a marriage, you have to understand your success now came in when that child or those children were born. Once again, when you have a child, the relationship that you have with your baby father or your baby mother is put to the side because you now have moved into a land and era of parenthood, which means that it has nothing to do with your relationship, but you can have a relationship with your baby daddy. You can be married to your baby daddy. But what I'm telling you is when you get divorced, when have you seen somebody divorce their kids? I mean, if they could divorce their kids, I think there'd be a lot of divorces going on. So if that's the only thing you cannot break, then let's understand what parenthood really is. It's a parenthood is totally the best interest of a child or children. That's what parenthood is. Parenthood has nothing to do with the failures from a relationship or marriage. I'm just saying. I'm just being real. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm just really saying. If you want to see that, this is behind me is Bico Blue. What you see me wearing in there, this is Bico Blue. Everything. This just happen to be a special edition that was made for me. This is actually my old address where I was born at and everything. So, and I'm promoting Bico Blue. Um, So getting back to this and everything, the best interest of a child or children. It says parenthood has nothing to do with the failures. The failures now that means that when you mess up and y'all ain't mess with each other in a relationship and y'all divorced or y'all separated from a marriage, guess what stays there the same? The foundation of parenthood does not and cannot be destroyed. No matter what you're doing, like I said, unless one of y'all die now. I hate for that to even happen, but it's the truth. It's really the truth. So here it is. Let's continue. Parenthood is about raising a innocent child or children to become what? To become what? You tell me what they're supposed to become. Become what? Better parents than the parents a child or children had themselves. That's parenthood, baby. That parenthood at its finest in a conscious state of mind. We have to understand that. Did I have good relationships with my baby mother? Nope. But the thing was, in parenthood, we found a way to exist. Because in parenthood, I had nothing to do with none of my baby mother's relationships. You feel what I'm saying? And they had nothing to do with mine. But parenthood, we got along because it wasn't about us. We were grown folks. Now it's time for grown folks to be grown folks and act like grown folks. And that's how we conducted it. Did it go smooth all the time? Nah, it don't go smooth all the time. But trust me, I like being a father. I like being a dad. I love when my baby mother called me and she said stuff like, your son or your daughter is in third. And I say, okay, let me talk to him more. When we get together, which my kids are grown now, when we get together, even still to today, it's still the same thing. Still teaching, still trying to understand, that I have to help no matter what's going on to keep continuing to create avenues for my children to be successful in life and have a more better life than me myself. So when that is going on, I'm fine and they're fine. You know what I'm saying? Do we discuss things? Yes. They discuss with me sometimes the things they go through in their relationships. I in return do the same. It's the only way that I find true understanding towards what because I'm learning from a female, and the best females to learn from is the ones that you have shared a child with, because they have to be honest. You know what I'm saying? If y'all even have any understanding or sense of real friendship, because friendship is what you probably will hold on to because that is inside parenthood. You got to be cordial with each other. You got to be kind to each other. You know what I'm saying? And everything. So let me say this. Why do we use our children? And this is a PowerPoint now. I want y'all to hear because I'm about to hit y'all in the head. Why do we use our children, our child or children, like chess pieces? I think I might have said something about that a little bit earlier, but let me go on over here. For instance, a baby daddy is called by his baby mom. It's about the baby needing some milk and pampers. But the baby daddy, he says he will buy his baby some pampers and milk if the baby mama have sex with him. Now, how many ladies, how many of y'all heard this out here? Now, be honest now. Don't let him off the hook. How many of y'all then? If he is, he's sorry. He's sorry for saying it because first of all, she shouldn't have to give you no sex because if y'all ain't together, then y'all ain't no relationship. The baby mother title and baby father title does not give you a green pass to have sex. That's not true. So whoever told y'all that, that's not true at all. That's just something y'all living out because that's what y'all want to do. Y'all just didn't know how to do it, so y'all it's more back to where y'all started from, being sneaky and sly with it. Sneaking off and everything. That's how y'all probably got together. You know what I'm saying? You had a child and everything. So with that being said and everything, stop being so petty talking about something. If you don't give me no sex, you ain't gonna buy your baby no milk. You sound stupid, real stupid. You sound like a lame, a cold water head if you was to say something like that. Because your child ain't got nothing to do with that. And if you were so concerned about your child or your baby mother, you should have been with her and you should have found ways to stay with her. Then you can have all the sex you want. See, that's called cake and eating it too. You feel me? You got the cake, but you want to eat it. You don't supposed to be able to eat this cake because it's not your own. It's your baby mother. So with that being said, let's keep on going. Hold on. My bad. You thought I was gonna let y'all off, black ladies? I ain't letting y'all off because y'all got some crazy stuff too. You know what I'm saying? Because he dealing with somebody else. The first thing you say, she ain't gonna be around. He ain't gonna have that, that BICTH around my child or my daughter, my son, and this and the third. As far as I'm concerned, I don't need nothing from him, this and the third. And you need to know, you need to stop lying to yourselves about telling what you don't need. Don't worry about that because if you were so concerned about what was going on with him and his personal and y'all personal relationship, y'all still be together because y'all been friends. The child should have gave y'all a friendship. It should have brought forth a bond. But instead, y'all too busy focusing on other things, and those things have suffocated and hindered y'all from being a family. So now that you have to come odds with that, stop creating them roadblocks to the avenues that allows the baby father to call his child. He may be a sorry dude in a relationship or a marriage, but he may be a good father or a dad. And just because he is not in love with you and he in love with his child, you got to take that, because then you may not be making the same mistake your parents made, your mother made, or your father made. So this next PowerPoint is about breaking the cycle, because it's a cycle. It's a heritage, but it's a cycle. You see what I'm saying? It's passed down through heritage, through dysfunctional behavior. See, y'all need to stop listening to Willie Lynch. See, read about Willie Lynch, and if you read about Willie Lynch, you're gonna find out that we dysfunctional people, we act dysfunctional, but we seem to try to act like we are functioning. Yes, we're functioning, but in a dysfunctional manner. So once again, it's a cycle that must be broken. It said parenthood is about a child or children enjoying a positive upbringing by both parents, because parenthood is and always will be a two-part effort. Say that again. Parenthood is about a child or children enjoying a positive upbringing by both parents, because parenthood is and always will be a two-partner effort. Two of y'all, man, woman, child. Three, man, woman, child. When man and woman come together, the God said you're gonna be prosperous, and that being bring forth life, and there it goes, right? That's a whole different bond. That's a whole different foundation from a relationship to a marriage. You trying to build stuff around parenthood. Say that part again. You're trying to build stuff around parenthood like a relationship that turns into a marriage. But parenthood is there already when a child is born. And I'm gonna say this to you. I salute to all the guys who have married a woman who has a child and you taking care of a child that isn't yours. Matter of fact, I salute and hold the salute. I take my hat off to you, because you're doing something that the father would not do himself. So all the guys out here that are looking out for their woman and a stepchild that's not your own, a stepchild, but you're treating that child as if they was yours, I salute to you. You are strong men, and you should keep doing what you're doing. To all those who do not believe that, then ladies, you have to understand that you're a package deal. And if you're a package deal, he can't have you without the package. The package is the child. So if he doesn't like what comes from you, then he doesn't understand you at all, and it's not there for you. So stop trying to replace somebody. Here we go with that thing again, replacing somebody and everything. You can't just replace anybody like you want to replace and stuff like that. It says to break over to break over creating a childhood upbringing that looks so much like your own childhood yourself experience. See, we so good at that in this race, in this black race that we have in this community. We so good at that. We so good at passing something down to the generation that you know you shouldn't get it to them. Why? Because mothers and fathers, what y'all hollering for? Because if y'all hollering at each other, that means that we're going back to that old story again. And that old story is a relationship is a plus, marriage is a plus, but parenthood comes first when a child is brought forth. To give your child or your children a better benefit of a childhood upbringing that you yourself had, you don't think that's worth it? And women, if he can't do nothing, he's work, he's broke, or nothing else, use him for something. If you have a child that is a little aggressive or whatever it is, have you ever thought that they are being aggressive because you're keeping them away from their fathers, and fathers vice versa? You stand away from your child. It does not benefit your child, it hurts your child. So you can do what you can do for your child and children right now. And we need to stop playing, because these children don't see what we supposed to be seeing. We supposed to be creating an avenue for our children to be able to be successful, to surpass what we ourselves as parents have done. See, that's what makes a child come back home, or that makes a child send money home when a parent is a parent and they've been there. When a child can call and depend on the truth and not some made up story. Like, for instance, your daddy dead. That is so old now. Your daddy dead, but your daddy's in prison. And because he made mistakes or whatever it is, and you don't want to say that you don't want to bring your child to a prison to corrupt them, they already corrupted because the, the secondary partner, the stronghold, the strength is gone. So while you out there trying to replace him with another guy, you're looking for someone for yourself and not to suit the necessarily need that you requiring at that moment. And that is stability. Stability is not just finance. Stability is also knowledge and wisdom itself. It is in the physical, not in the verbal. So with that being said, to my people, once again, this podcast was about Parenthood's Guide to Better Children. I know some of y'all thought I was going to talk about kids, but I ain't. Kids don't get bad by being kids. Kids get bad by bad parenting. I said it. Don't be mad at me. Once again, check me out. Bico Blue coming at you. So with that being said, to the next podcast, I'm your host, Brian Williams, aka the Professor. See you.